we're headed back to Detroit for this Lions-Cowboys game. Cowboys now just a coin flip. If they win out, it means winning every single game after last night's loss to the Lions. The Vikings next week. Danny, are you officially writing off the Cowboys? This is official, not just writing off, officially writing off.
Yeah, in pen, not one of those pencils. Done.
It's official.
It's official. I said it yesterday. I felt like that was the first playoff game of the year, and you couldn't make a credible case for the loser to make the run, and the Cowboys lost it. So I'm going to stay true to it, and there's nothing that happened in that game. It was like, it was a bad call or it was fluky. Detroit was better. You were right about that. I was wrong. And I thought the biggest story of the game, I understand the focus on Pickens. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction, frankly, to how he played yesterday. It wasn't great, but I've seen way worse from him. But that was about the Cowboys' defense. The Cowboys' defense before all of the trades was awful. And then yesterday, it was awful again. This specific combination of factors should be impossible for one team to do. Allowing 40 or more points, 400 or more yards, only getting 1 or 0 sacks, and forcing 2 or fewer punts. They've now done it 3 times this year. It's basically showing up in 0 aspect of the game. We allow the yards, we allow the points, we don't turn you over, and we don't force you to punt. And so they did it against Denver, Green Bay, and then last night. And now they would officially be the worst defense of the Super Bowl era in terms of points per game allowed to make the playoffs, if they made it. Worse than the greatest show on turf ramps. The offense is great, but you'd have to overcome a historically terrible defense even post the trades. And I know they have been better, but man, they were awful last night against a team with no Laporta, with a supposedly banged up Amon-Ra St. Brown.
A team a lot of people picked and are still picking to go to the Super Bowl, and a team that if you can't get pass rush on, it still has a superstar receiver and a superstar running back. I don't think the Cowboys are dead. Now that is partially a Eagles take. Because the math in this regard stays the same. They need 2 more wins than Philadelphia the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. That's how they get in. And so, is it plausible that the Eagles finish the season 2-3? I think that's plausible. And do I think the Cowboys, I don't want to say are likely, but absolutely can finish 4-0? For sure. They play the Giants, Washington, Minnesota, and a tough game against a Chargers team that we'll see what shape they're in. That will be the Chargers going Philly, Kansas City, Dallas, and Herbert already has the broken hand. So that's why I'm not writing them off, because of a similar reason, I think, as to why you believed in your 2 Super Bowl picks so much. Man, if you have a top 5 offense, you're in it. And if I thought that defense was still the worst defense in football, then I would feel differently. I think those numbers that showed be the worst defense to make the playoffs in however long.
The Super Bowl era.
Right, in the Super Bowl ever.
All of
it. Doesn't take into account that I think they went from, bottom 3 or worst defense they're not the worst defense in the NFL, but bottom 3 defense to the 22nd ranked defense, which is, to me, closer to what they've been post the trades. I thought it was an overreaction that Quinnen Williams was, a life changer for them, but I do think he makes them better. Overshown being back makes them better. Them getting healthier makes them better. So I just think they are better than the 4 teams left on their schedule, and I think it's possible Philadelphia falls apart. So those 2 things make me feel like I'm not comfortable totally writing them off. I don't think it'd be a good even money bet, but I'm not writing them off.
Yeah, to write them off, you have to think Philadelphia is just going to plummet. And I don't think that's going to happen right now. But as I've said all week, if the Eagles lose to the Chargers, that's 3 straight losses where most likely the offense hasn't played well. Then I think the supernatural funk is right there at the doorstep. In fact, like what I say, it'd be riding home with a
Yeah.
And that's when maybe they could collapse. But Dallas still would have to essentially win out. And
yeah, they would.
I mean, I don't know that they've shown us even though they are better than those teams on their schedule, I mean, I don't know that they've shown us any reason to believe they're going to just go on a 4-game.
Well, you think they're going to beat the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
It's the Charger game.
It's just the Chargers game.
Well,
the last two games are road
Don't they
division
have
games,
Washington?
and
Right.
Jaden's back.
And Jaden will be back.
Right. Washington.
No,
would love
listen. I
nothing
think
more
that
than
the
to spoil.
Chargers game at home is tough, and I think at Washington
That'll be tough.
might be tough. Jaden is back. We also
He could be gone
Even
again.
with
right. They
Mariota,
also might shelve him. You
But
know what I mean?
Washington gave Denver all it wanted. I mean,
No, I am not saying that those are and walkovers. Even the Giants, as playing spoiler if the Cowboys are playing some divisional game, not a walkover. I just think the Cowboys are right now better than those four teams.
they are.
The best team they play is the
will be
Chargers
interesting.
in Dallas. I also think, I don't know if we can put up Philly's schedule or not. Philly has one walkover game, and then, like we were saying, the divisional games, which are tough, the Chargers this week, and they have a tough team in Week 17 that I'm forgetting, but it's not a divisional game because they go Washington, somebody tough, Washington. The Bills. And so, it is, I think Dak played really well yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I know this sounds ridiculous if you take away the two picks, but if you those two picks, both of them, he threw the ball exactly where he wanted. The receiver had them in his hands, both of them. He throws for 375 yards and a touchdown despite it. That game got away from them. And again, I picked Detroit to win, so I'm not surprised by what happened, but I didn't walk away from yesterday's game feeling way worse about Dallas than I did going into the game.
Yeah, and one of his wide receivers stopped playing.
Yeah, well, so that I think is just going to happen. Like in this regard.
Well,
like
that could happen during these last four games at the worst
Pickens
time.
has been awesome this year.
Until last night. I
know, but-
nobody doubts. You don't. You're giving him a pass for last night.
It's not a complete pass. There were some bad moments. I thought that Richard Sherman overreacted, saying that he was the story of that game. The reason they lost is because of the defense. We are two weeks removed from CeeDee Lamb dropping the ball multiple times in that game against Philly and openly sulking on the sideline.
Physically dropping the ball.
right.
No, but CeeDee was
just
pouting.
giving up, but that's still not
during his
giving
route.
up during the game.
Can
I
I say something real quick?
Let
Let me just add some insight to how my dear friend Danny Parkins processes sports.
Here we go.
He actually doesn't think character matters.
Well,
It's just a
not as
talent
much as
thing.
everybody else.
It is just a pure.
greatly talented.
He is super talented. Therefore, everybody's making too big of a deal.
You don't. Go ahead.
So the idea that because he had a couple of bad moments in one game last night, he's now not worth paying money to be on the team next year when he has been a top 5 receiver in football this year?
Yes, but hold on.
Of course I would
A
want him on
couple
my
bad
team.
moments.
Yeah, I think that-
he
yeah.
didn't drop a pass. He just didn't run several routes hard.
That led to.
He also
He was not good. I'm saying his season has been excellent, and there were a few bad moments last night.
right, but it was.
No,
But it
there's
is
a few bad
to me. If you're a player who everyone's like, wow, the Steelers sure didn't get much back for this guy. Well, they couldn't wait to get out of the George Pickens business, and then he is having this great year, and everyone's like, wow, they really messed that up. And then you see, oh yeah, reminder, that's who he was consistently in Pittsburgh. I guess let me.
But now that he has a great quarterback and a good offense, he's a top 5 player in the sport because of his talent.
Except for last night in a
But
game.
so if you were to crystal ball it, and 3 times a year he's going to do that, you'd still want him.
Do the other 14 times a year, does he do what he's done this year? Yes.
Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah. I think that's why I said it's unfair when I said Danny doesn't care about character. It is
okay.
a fundamental difference in how I view, at least, and I think you too, football. I think that is a toxicity within a locker room that prevents you from achieving at high levels.
But you said earlier that you could win with those guys.
No, I said 100%. I think that you don't have to have all Boy Scouts on your team. And we gave the different examples of that. I think that George Pickens, if he is going to consistently be the I might just quit guy, I would be super anxious about paying him like a number 1 receiver. And I think that it would be bad business to pay him right now like a number 1 receiver. I would franchise tag him with the concern being he's going to throw a fit if I franchise tag him. It's why
You would
Pittsburgh
agree
got rid
that
of him.
you would agree that though this year, last night is the outlier.
And yes,
Okay.
and for his career, the previous 12 games were the
But I don't think you can have that out. I understand how you're framing it, and not to be argumentative, but I reject the framing of it.
That's
fine.
Of just look, the pilot, look, he crashed into a.
Right. He had a bad day.
Yeah, bad day. But I think that if you're going to do that, I think it's almost, and I'm going to try to phrase this so I'm not putting words in your mouth. It sounds disrespectful to guys at the top of their field and what they bring to a team every day. What Justin Jefferson is bringing every day,
Right.
talking up J.J. McCarthy, who can't hit the side of the barn, yo, I believe in you. The guy, I think there's a level of leadership that goes beyond, if you're getting paid that much.
I wouldn't vote
that
him
goes
captain.
beyond just catching the ball.
I was going to say, when you're equating lack of effort with just, he dropped a couple passes.
And pouted about it.
Yeah, but he pouted on the sideline. He didn't pout during a play. You know what I mean? I could view Pickens as pouting when he's not running out routes as hard as he can. So that's
Pouting during a route is wild. That's pouting on the sidelines, okay. You want to read a book? If A.J. Brown read the book on the sidelines, wasn't great. Reading a book during a route would
I
be
think A.J. Brown, by the way, A.J. Brown has been a problem this year. They won a Super Bowl he's been a problem this year.
Chiefs favored against the Texans in Arrowhead Sunday night. Texans defense ranked first in points, yards, and passer rating. But Spag says, hey, don't forget about our defense. Chiefs defense last 2 games, no sacks. Not good. 0 sack, first time since 2021. What do you expect from the Chiefs, Nick or Danny?
Go ahead.
Listen, I expect the Chiefs to lose, and I don't think Mahomes is enough to overcome an obvious X's and O's mismatch in this spot that is just extreme. And I know we don't do a ton of individual offensive lineman rankings here, but you're pretty familiar with the inner workings of the Chiefs. How would you describe the downgrade from Josh Simmons to Wanya Morris?
It's massive. It's big. It's third string tackle.
That's the left tackle downgrade. Mm-hmm. What about from Jawan Taylor to Jalen Moore?
Not as big, but significant. And then the
Trey
Smith one,
to Mike
Caliendo was huge. Yeah.
So it's not close, right? These are
a great defensive line
against the best pass rush in football. Them or the Broncos are the best defense in football, certainly. So I just think extreme strength, Texans pass rush, against now extreme weakness, Chiefs backup offensive linemen, 60% of their backups, including 2 of their best 3 offensive linemen. I think it's too much to overcome.
You know what?
Dude, I think you made a. Go ahead. I think you made a horribly strategic misstep.
Why? Why? What is it? Let me hear.
I think you did a horrible job just then.
Why?
Thanks,
What did
buddy.
he do?
Because when your offensive lineman for the Justin Herbert was out, he ripped you to shreds. God forbid we ask Justin Herbert to do something without a few offensive linemen.
He can't play without Joe Alt.
Justin Herbert's got a broken hand and no offensive line. Can he not win a game? Is that too much to ask? And now his guys are gone. Are they high school kids?
By the way,
do they have to go to
Herbert is better when pressured this year than Mahomes.
Oh my
Yeah, but
goodness! You are a great,
No,
you
it's
are
just
a
the
great
truth.
friend.
What he's
you
saying,
are a great
listen,
friend.
Yeah, I know, one of the best.
But regardless,
that is right
of
there
any
for you.
strategic errors,
No, go ahead.
that's
Set
not
strike.
where I was trying to go with it. All week long I've been terrified of this.
Yes.
I no longer am.
Oh, he is lying through his teeth.
Let me tell you why.
Just an hour ago, you were terrified.
100%. 100%. I had a moment of clarity
Oh, God.
in hearing Danny go over the backup offensive linemen, just one by one, which is something we've talked about all week, but we haven't gone through it.
Sure.
The Chiefs know that.
Yeah.
And Patrick knows it. And Andy knows it. And the whole story of the game is that. And that combined with what you said, which is why are they still favored? When everybody knows it, why has this line sat at 3.5 the whole week and sat there? And I think the answer is because we saw Chiefs with an offensive line in similar shape twice 10 months ago and 9 months ago play this team and be like, we have a game plan that will neutralize your pass rush. And that they are unlike the other spots this year where an offensive lineman's gone out during the game or where they thought they were going to be able to hold up, but they weren't, like against Dallas, but they still scored against Dallas. That all week long, the objective for the Chiefs offense and the game plan has clearly been, how are we going to be able to function offensively if everything has to be within a second and a half? And I trust Andy to figure that out. And so then the question becomes, can the Chiefs defense hold up its end? And I think they will in 20-degree weather at night in Arrowhead. So much so, I almost wish you could go back and do Nick's picks. I could take the Chiefs minus 3.5. I can't. My picks are already locked in stone. But I feel better.
It took me until 5:18
that's
on
right.
Friday.
I've been on tilt for a month. Ever since they lost to Bo Nix, I've been on tilt. But I am back, and they're going to win Sunday night. And we are going to be dropping banners on Monday.
And that's why Justin Herbert is not Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly right. That's right.
No excuses. Remember the quarterback?
Exactly.
Let's see the excuses he makes when the Chiefs lose.
Exactly. I can't wait.
Coming up now, Parkins Picks. Buckle up.
I am seeing the NFL very clearly. This is the official pick segment. I plug into the matrix. I see the league clearly. I'm not going to let 3-0 change me. I'm not scared of picking big games. Taking the points with Detroit. Play in the wood with the Chicago Bears. Easy, easier, and easiest. I know that I'm right.
Parkins Picks is back.
Hey, Nick, do me a favor. Find the loss on the screen there for me, if you don't mind. It's going to take you a while. Because there was none.
I'm not even certain these were your picks.
What do you mean?
We weren't here. This was Black Friday.
Oh.
I don't even, who's to even tell? Someone check the tape.
Oh, the tape has been checked. People were watching. Some of us were working on Black Friday.
Outright wins.
I honestly can't decide which was the easiest one. You tell me. I mean, 26-7 was the Bills. I only had to lay 3.5. Texans, an outright winner, and I got 3.5. Bears +7 outright. There were no sweats. No sweats across the board. 21-18, approaching 54% for the season. And you know what they say about things that aren't broke? Don't fix them. Let's get to our first pick of Week 14, if you don't mind. We go back to the well with the Bears as an underdog. +6.5. They're going to win outright, just like they did last week against Philadelphia. Jordan Love, he has been better this year than Caleb Williams. But you know why that won't matter? Because the Bears are going to run the ball. Wyatt, the best defensive tackle for the Packers, out with injury. How's the Packers' rush defense been the last couple of weeks? Big yikes. 6 rush touchdowns allowed the last 4 weeks, 125 yards per game. The Bears, the second best rushing team in the NFL this season, the best since their bye week. Packers, oh man, big trouble. Bears taking ownership of the rivalry. Going to keep their lead in the division. Keep their hold on the 1 seed, by the way. Last week, I took the Texans. Let's do it again. Texans +3.5.
Wow. Picked the same teams?
Well, I'm 2 for 2. Let's see if we establish a little bit of a theme here, Nick, on Parkins Picks. We just talked about the Chiefs' backup offensive lineman, the Texans' pass rush. We know that means Patrick Mahomes is going to be under pressure. You asked for a graphic brew? I got you. Patrick Mahomes, when pressured this season, 31st in the NFL.
Don't let him get there.
Yikes.
Aaron Rodgers style, except good.
I mean,
to his teammates.
Ranks among 33rd quarterbacks. He's 31 out of 33. That's a bit.
Nobody cares about completion percentage. I know.
That's not true.
This guy can't because he's the Caleb guy. It was throwing.
I'm sorry,
at
Caleb
57%.
Williams, his second year as a starter, we're talking about it compared to Patrick Mahomes, the greatest
Stay
of all
focused.
time.
You're perfect, man.
I am perfect. Well, so I did the Bears last week. It was easy. The Texans last week was
They're
easy.
playing different teams.
Yeah, but I like the matchups.
Okay.
And I see the NFL
It's
clearly.
the same team.
Bills! -5.5 against the Bengals. We go back to the well again.
Wow, this
going
is-
Well, I
against
just like
Lyles'
the
upset
concept
alert
of it.
pick. So,
He swayed you?
what
I
do
wanna
the
see the
Bills
Bills
do against bad defenses? Sorry, Wilds, they are still a bad defense. They destroy them.
Yes.
5-0 against defenses ranked in the bottom third of the league, scoring nearly 35 per game, outscoring them by 13 a game. Josh Allen has been spectacular. They're going to run all over them. They're going to post a big number. They're going to win easily.
Are you talking about the Bengals running?
I'm talking about the Bills. The Bills. Blowout
Who's going to
victory.
run all over who?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I make a request? It's not a bet because I have nothing to offer. It's just a request.
Yeah.
Because this really, I hate to say it, but this feels like 0-3.
Whoa!
Feels like the Bills win by 3 or 4 points, the Texans lose by 6, and the Bears get what usually happens to the Bears when they go to Green Bay, stomped.
Oh, really? They won last year.
If this goes 0-3,
Yeah.
next week, will you either the crown or the chain? Just set.
I'll never take off the
Okay,
chain.
the crown. The crown.
You get one show a year in Kansas City in the contract.
Poor
This is now in my
Christine
contract for
has
picks.
to stay late every Friday. We had to put a robe on you in the crown. If you go 0-3 next week, you just got to do it in regular regalia.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I agree. If I
Excellent
dip
Parkins
below
pick.
500, which I would never do,
Okay.
then
All
I'll
right,
take
fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I like it.
All right.
If you believe in the soccer gods, you should be thanking them. I think this is not just a good group, this is a great group, and this is a group that you should expect this United States team under Mauricio Pochettino to win and go through. So thank you to the soccer gods.
Big World Cup draw today on Fox. It was quite a show. The USA in Group D. We will face Paraguay, Australia, and the winner of a playoff between Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo. We won't know that, the fourth member of the group, until March. Like Alexei said, soccer gods were looking out. Looks to be one of the easiest groups. Host country, big expectations. 8 of 12 third-place teams now because the round of 32 is the knockout stage. We'll get out, but the U.S. not going to be thinking about that. Got to make a run. Host country, haven't been past the round of 16 since 2002. Go make a run for the U.S. men's national team. Let's talk some American football, though.
That's it.
In the NFL. Lions, I know Greg was happy. Got back to bully ball, routed the Cowboys 44-30 last night. Bounce back game was vital for a Lions team looking to stay competitive in a tight race for the NFC North. Willie, how dangerous do you consider this version of the Lions to be?
Well, they're dangerous because their offensive identity is back. Run first with Gibbs, watch Jared cook off for play action. And what that did was allow them to play ahead of the chain, stay on time, they had rhythm. And then we witnessed Dan Campbell. You know, his superpower is calling the run, and he did a damn good job of it. And then I also think defensively, man, they responded. And I think the biggest shock for me, to be honest with you, I expected the Cowboys to play a lot more with a lot more execution, play a lot more desperate. That's what the Lions did. They played like a desperate team, and they got it done. So congrats to the Lions, man. 8-5, they're alive. I think they threaten the Bears right now in the division solely because of how they played last night.
So when I watched this game, like obviously huge implications on this game. The season's on the line, literally. And they found a way to win. Like you said, Willie, they played with a little bit more sense of urgency. I don't know how dangerous they are moving forward, though. Because the
branch injury.
The branch injury is devastating when you're looking and you're going into a game already without Kirby Joseph at safety, and then the safety that's filling in gets injured like the second play of the game, and then Branch goes down. It just gives the feel, if you're a Lions fan, like here we go again. Regardless of what you look like offensively, we've seen this music playing before. We've had this music playing before, and it didn't end sounding the same way it started. And so for me, they can beat anybody. They can definitely beat anybody, but they also can be beaten because we saw what the Cowboys were doing.
Yeah.
And get ready for, if they make it, the home road splits, more the indoor-outdoor splits, and then the cold weather splits. Like their offense does tend to look great on a fast track in a dome. And
like most offenses. Yeah.
Sure, most offenses look better, but like Jared Goff in particular, it's been something that's hung over him. I know he pushes back against the narrative and he has a few good moments, but the top of the NFC, you could be going to Chicago.
Yeah.
You could go to Lambeau. You could go to Philly.
Things get tight in cold weather.
Yeah, and so it's just, it is a team built for their home stadium. So they could go to LA. That would be something that they, and they played great games against the Rams the last couple of years. Those games have all been really close and really exciting. But I think their offense is electric. Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best players in football. Amon-Ra St. Brown, how good he looks given the injury last night was incredible. But I do think that they're less scary outdoors in the cold, and how it's shaping up right now as them likely being a wild card team in the NFC, that makes me downgrade them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I also think what you needed to see was them respond defensively. I thought they did outside the injuries, and on special teams, they stepped up in a big way. So when you got all three levels cooking, man, it's a good time to be the Lions right now.
All right, let's get to the main event of the weekend. The rest of the NFC North. Don't laugh, Greg. Ooh, you're a little scared.
I'm not.
My Bears, Greg's Packers.
That Bears.
Oldest rivalry in football, alive and well. And they're talking the talk on both sides of the game. I love it. I love it. Here's why. Here's what I like so much about it.
I like it.
Because it is true that it is a time-honored tradition for Bears coaches to talk about the Packers when they get introduced. And it's because we are the little brother. Right? Like we are, it is a rivalry in the same way that a hammer is a rival with a nail. Like we have been the nail,
Yes, sir.
right? And Ben Johnson is trying to change that. And now, because the Bears are making some noise, the Packers are actually responding a little bit. Normally it's like,
Yeah,
not even worth a response.
Yes.
But now the Packers are lobbying it back, which to me is like a sign of respect. Like we are closer to being equals, and I can't wait for the game. It is only the second time in the history of this rivalry where both teams have met in December or January with both teams being at least 5 games over 500. They're never good at the same time.
Yeah.
They're never good at the same time. And so like the stakes of this game are massive. And so I got a little good, better, best for you.
Okay.
If you guys don't mind.
Go for it.
Jordan Love's going to be good. Jordan Love has been good. He is coming off of maybe the best game of his career. First time ever where he had 4 touchdowns and no turnovers. He only has 3 interceptions this year. Jordan Love has been great. I do think he will throw at least 1, maybe 2 interceptions against the defense that leads the NFL in takeaways this week. But Jordan Love, I expect to have his moments and be good. I respect him. You know who's going to be better? DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. 280 yards rushing last week against the Eagles. It's going to be cold in Lambeau. Bears are going to get off the bus running. Wyatt, best defensive tackle for the Packers, out for the season. Massive injury on their defensive line. So who's going to be best? The man who talked trash at the introductory press conference. Oh, my God, no shirt on. That is Ben Johnson.
How shocking.
Good, better, but yeah, listen, is there bias in that? But it's Danny's most impactful players of Bears-Packers. Greg, scared?
No.
Smell a little fear.
Not at all.
A little fear.
Especially, I mean.
I hate how you're downplaying this.
no.
This man just gave you a hell of a monologue. He's telling you the Bears have arrived, and you give me,
Because when you've sat on this side,
Yes, okay.
and you've listened to little brother talk about how good he's gotten, how much he's improved, I'm gonna beat you this time.
Right.
You feel the same exact way. You look at him and you say, let's just wait till the game.
Week
Period.
18 last year.
But I will say this. Like, the Packers have to be focused on this running game. Like, Micah Parsons, his comments, I listened to those, and for someone who hasn't been involved in this rivalry, talking about, I don't like the disrespect, I hear the disrespect and all those things. I listened to that and I transcribed that in my mind as somebody who understands the style in which the Bears choose to play. Bully ball. We're going to punch you in the mouth. You don't hear that about passing attacks. We're going to impose our will. Different things like that. That is aimed directly and exclusively at defensive fronts. So the Packers, you alluded to Wyatt being out. They are going to have to, and it's mandatory to stop this running game, or you're going to be in a dogfight for the duration. If they can stop this running game, you alluded to the 2 guys, Swift and Monangai, curtains.
Little scared.
Not little scared. I'm acknowledging what you laid out.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. I'll say this. I do agree with you, Danny. A Bears win against the Packers shifts the narrative about the franchise. I agree with you in that standpoint. I also agree from this standpoint, we know what the run game can do, but if they can somehow get DJ Moore and Cole Kmet to be effective and be X factors in the game, the Packers are in trouble. The bottom line, and I know defensively what the Packers
Do you
can
recognize you got on Packer green right now?
No, I recognize I got Miami Hurricane green.
No, that's Packer green.
No, whatever.
We talk NFL
But my end-all, be-all to it is, I think right now, if they make progress in the in the passing game, and they have the run game, I don't think the Packers can match up with them. I really don't. I think the Bears are going to roll the Packers.
Wow.
I really do. I'm sorry to say it.
Don't apologize.
I'm just telling you.
Don't apologize.
I just know where your heart's at.
Don't-
I just know how it's looking.
It is interesting to me, like, and I know that I'm the sports gambler out here, but like the Bears were basically a 7-point underdog against the Eagles, won outright. They are virtually 6.5, 7-point underdog again against the Packers. People still do not look at the Bears as a team in that tier 1 of NFL teams. So like, this is another time where
This
they
is
can
a stage
legitimately
to
be
win.
like,
Yeah.
nobody believes in
Yeah,
us
yeah.
and all of that. And I think the disrespect that Mike is talking about is what Ben Johnson said at the introductory press conference. Because the Packers offensive coordinator comes down and goes, yeah, we heard it. Feels like they played that in the meeting room.
I played with a coach like that. His name was Rex Ryan. That fires the guys up in the locker room. When you start planting your flag early, boys
You're
respond
Ben
to that.
Johnson. You got to come out and say stuff.
Yeah,
I think you're scared.
it's red meat. It's red
I think
meat
you
to the
low-key
face.
scared. You just don't want to say it.
I told you I smell fear.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.